Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed. This is my channel Alec Reads, and today we are reading something a little different. We are reading some of my poetry. I write poetry. I enjoy reading my poetry, but I've never read it to anyone who wasn't close to me. But I've started trying to kind of step outside of my comfort zone. So this is me stepping outside of my comfort zone. Hello. This is outside of my comfort zone. Welcome. So let's jump right into the video. Poem 1. My kind of love. I don't care about grand gestures. I don't want you to say that you will love me to the moon or that you will love me till the end of time. I want every moment. I want the mundane. I want to bring your mail in from my mailbox. I want to find your shirt in with mine. I want to see your shoes by the front door. I want it all. I want the little things. The things that mean absolutely nothing and absolutely everything at the same time. I want to fall asleep next to you, come home to you reading in the windowsill. I want you. I mean every bit of you. Even the pieces that you think are broken or ugly, I want it all. Poem 2. I love you. I love you, I do, but we're not on the same page. I think we used to. We were, but now that I've looked at myself and I've looked at you, I see that we are on completely different pages, maybe even completely different chapters, or worse, even completely different books. Because you have the tendency to look to the future, and I can't help but live in the past, and neither one of us can live in the moment. I have a bad habit of not talking about what I'm thinking about, and so do you. For you, that happens to be the future ahead, and for me, that happens to be the past. We like to think about our wedding day and our future house and maybe our kids and even maybe our dog. But at the same time, I think about how I could never live in one place for too long and how I don't want to have kids and how pets seem like they might stress me out too much. You want this big family, this big life with a family and a job and all these happy moments, and I don't even know how I got here. I didn't think I would make it here, so imagine my surprise when I made it all the way here with you. This is absolutely crazy for me. I want to give you all the love I have, but the problem is you have the kind of love that turns into marriage and happy endings, and I don't. I don't want to get married. I don't want to do those things that you want to do because I don't think I'm capable of them. I don't think it's possible for me to be a good wife, mother, or partner. I am who I am, and you are who you are. I love you with my whole being, but sadly, that is just simply not enough. You will be someone else's Prince Charming, and I know that. It's just, I am one of those princesses who doesn't get the happy endings, the ones in the books instead of in the movies, the ones who were supposed to be strong and independent but got nothing but trouble instead. That's me. And I do love you, but I refuse to make you wait for something that will never happen. That I will never let happen. Chapter 3. You make my bad days beautiful. You do it so effortlessly, it's amazingly surprising. There are some days that I can't get out of bed. On those days, instead of being angry or telling me to just get up or telling me that there's no reason for me to be this sad or telling me that this is a beautiful day and I should just go outside, you turn it into movie dates. Build pillow forts and make popcorn and turn the worst days into my best memories. Some days I lay on the floor when I feel a lot of emotions or when my blood sugar gets low. Instead of asking 1,000,000 questions or telling me to get up or telling me that I'm being absurd or telling me that maybe I should go lay down on the couch, you call it floor time. You pick up all our favorite pillows and blankets, gather our favorite snacks, and we sit together. When I look in the mirror while pinching my skin, you look and looking at my body and realize that it will never take care of me how I take care of it. You hold me and tell me how beautiful I am, and we play dress up, not in our nice clothes. We put on the most wacky of our outfits we can possibly make and dance around in the living room where you're the person who dances in the kitchen with me, the person who has time with me, the person who sits with me in bed the person who gives me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I never thought that someone could love me like that. A lot of my life, I actually thought that there was no chance of anyone ever loving me. So now I know that on the days where you can't get out of bed, we have movie nights. On the days that you lay on the floor, I grab all our favorite pillows and all of our favorite snacks, and we have floor time. On the days that you pick at your body, we dress up and we dance in the kitchen while you're making dinner. I love you and you love me. And that's why you make my bad days beautiful. You love me. You love me. Love. No. Loved. I loved you. I do not love you. I can't look at you the same after what you did. I cannot love you after what you did. So I loved you. Past tense. I can no longer love you fully and wholeheartedly. I'm sorry. I thought that I could get past this. I really thought I could, but I can't. When we constantly pretend that it didn't happen, not when we haven't spoken the same in weeks, not when I feel your eyes on the back of my neck, not when your kiss feels different, not when you wear a different cologne, not when you leave the room when I walk into it. So yes, I love you, but for now I'm going to say that I love you. Loved you. Not because I can't be with you, because I cannot get past this. And I can feel my love slowly dying, and I can't put you through that because I promised I would never do that. I would never break your heart, and I never break my promises, and you of all people should know that. So no, I do not love you. I have loved you. Past tense. Life is always changing, moving forward, morphing into something new. Today I called your number. It's officially been given to someone new. I used to hate your voicemail. The way it sounded like you answered when you really did, and then you'd start to talk only for you to laugh and say that it was just a voicemail. After I lost you, I called your phone about 4 million times just to hear you laugh. I curled up in a ball and just hit call. Losing you felt like losing all the happiness I ever had. Even people who didn't know you were devastated when you passed. I still feel like it's my fault. And I still feel like you're miles away. The moon is 238,900 miles away, and yet I'm standing just 6 feet from you, and I feel like I'm further than anything known to man. I see you in everything I do. The things that we used to do together just don't feel the same. Band practice, art, writing, reading, any of it. It all feels like I should have stopped the day that you passed, like the day that you died should have been my last. Life is different now. I know that I have to keep trying, keep pushing, keep going, keep changing, keep morphing into something new the same way life does. But God, I miss you. I miss your laugh, the way you lit up a room, the way I came to school and people would ask about you even though they had never met you, the way that you listened. And at the same time, I'm mad at you. You called me. You asked me for help even though you knew that I couldn't. You left me with your family. You left me with your boyfriend. You left me with this massive hole in my heart, a hole in my being, if you will. If I could go back in the past, I would do endless amounts of things differently. Meeting you, I don't think I could ever change, even if that means every cut, every scrape, every bruise, even that if that means reliving every second of my past. I would do anything, and I do mean anything, to get you back. I love you, you say. Okay, how much? I reply. You look at me stunned, maybe not understanding my question. How much do you love me? You still stand there stunned, so I decide to give you examples. Do you love me more than the distance from here to the moon? Do you know the distance from here to the moon? I do. I also know that I love you way more than that. Do you love me as much as the universe can expand? Do you know how much the universe can expand? Because I do. It's never ending. You want to know what else I know? I know that I love you more than that. How much do you love me? It's a question I've had for a long time. Do you love me to the moon or to the end of the universe? How much do you love me? Enough is all you say. And how much is enough? I ask. Enough to keep you warm at night? enough for it to be there even if I'm not, enough for me to be able to go out and get breakfast while you're still asleep in bed and have you still feel it. No, I cannot measure my love in distance, but I can measure my love in other things. You say, I love you more than my favorite book. I love you more than my favorite meal. I love you more than I love life itself. That's how much I love you, you say. I have these words that haunt me. Those words being, don't you remember? They might seem harmless, don't get me wrong, for some they are. When you say them, usually it's something harmless. Don't you remember our dinner dates? I do. I also remember the screaming fits you had in the car before them. Don't you remember painting our apartment? I do. I also remember the holes you punched in the walls. Don't you remember the poems I wrote you? The kind words? I do. I also remember how you used to tell me how worthless I was on the daily. So now it's my turn. Do you remember? Do you remember how I had a sparkle in my eyes when we met? Do you remember how it was gone when we left? Do you remember that how I had that smile and how it looked? And do you remember how I couldn't remember how to smile when we left? Do you remember me begging you to just love me? Do you remember? It's a question that really seems to haunt me, but no one really understands why it haunts me, because you tried to get me to remember only the good, but the thing is, the bad happened more often than the good. Do you remember? Because some days it really makes me wonder, because you seem to remember the good even though it doesn't happen that often, and I remember all of it. So, one more time, do you remember? If you want to leave me, fine. But I have a couple of requests. Give me one more breakfast, one more lunch, and one more dinner. One more sunrise and one more sunset. I want one more kiss. Maybe when I have those, I won't crave them as much when you're gone. I want one more hug, one more joke, and one more sniff of your cologne. Maybe I won't burst into tears when I smell it as I'm walking down the street. Give me one more of everything, and then you can go. Give me one more goodbye and one more I love you, just one more day. That's all I ask. Give me one more day to wrap my head around the fact that you no longer love me. Give me one more day of pretending. I don't know how long you've been pretending, so how bad could one day hurt? Hold my hand one more time. Introduce me as your girlfriend one more time. That's all I ask. One more time. This poem may be a bit triggering for some people. It does mention some eating disorders. I will forever be different than you, because you will never understand what I have gone through. You will never understand when I say living is hard work, because I do not mean making a living, I mean wanting to live. You will never understand what I've gone to. I say this because you do not know how many calories are in a stick of gum, but I do. No matter A matter of fact, I used to eat half of one so that I could subtract half the calories. Do you not? And you do not have to remind yourself that ice cubes do not count as dinner. You ask me why I do my nails so often. I can't have lunch if I'm still in the middle of doing my nails, and I can't have dinner if they're still not done drying. You don't have to ask your body for forgiveness, but I do, because there were times where I used to put lemon juice and salt on ice cubes and call them Sour Patch Kids. The feeling of being full, being terrifying, and the feeling of being hungry, feeling familiar. I remember the late nights, the dark circles, the hair loss, the weighing myself every day, drinking an entire gallon of water a day so that I don't get hungry, because if you drink enough water, your stomach is too full and you don't feel as hungry. It was easy to ignore your hunger when you drink so much water that your body physically can't take anything else. It's easier to ignore your hunger when your brain is constantly yelling at you. I will always be different from you. You will never view things the way that I view them. You will never have this voice in your head. And I applaud you on this. I applaud you on the lack of knowing how many calories are in a piece of bread. I applaud you on eating when you're hungry and drinking just enough water so that you're not thirsty anymore. Drinking enough water so that you feel fine. Eating Sour Patch Kids instead of ice cubes covered in salt and lemon juice. I applaud your brain and lifestyle, and I just hope that one day I can join you. And that is the end of today's episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope that we can hopefully continue this. But if you guys do not like these poems, let me know in the comments. If you don't want more poem videos, let me know in the comments. The main thing for me is just trying to figure out what you guys like, what you guys don't like. So let me know down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, and I will see you in the next